is Friday night hangout, creating our stories, piece by piece. This is Friday night hangout, creating our stories, piece by piece. Exploring limitless opportunities, illuminate our path, amplify our impact. Oh, it's Friday night hangout. It's Friday night hangout. It's it.
Are you feeling stuck in your business, professional or personal life? Or are you struggling to find purpose and direction? Imagine having a clear sense of direction, achieving your goals and living a fulfilling life. Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult is here to help you. We will work with you to identify your strengths, overcome obstacles, and develop a personalized plan to achieve your dreams. With our coaching and consulting services, you will gain clarity, confidence, and the tools you need to succeed. Do not let fear, lack of clarity, or doubt hold you back any longer. Take the first step towards achieving your goals and living your best life. Contact Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult today. Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult, empowering you to reach your full potential. Call, SMS, or WhatsApp +234 704 229 1171. Or you can visit our website www.joyonyesohcoachingconsult.com. Hey! Welcome to another exciting episode of Friday Night Hangout. Welcome to episode 234. Yes. Oh my goodness. But as usual, I'm always excited to show up here to be with you. And so I welcome you to another exciting conversation. We're going to be talking about building a support network. You just want to sit tight because this is that conversation that will enable you to finish this year strong. So I'm Joy Onyesoh, your host or your hostess or your convener, whichever one you like to take. But just know that I simply love, honor, and celebrate you. And I'm excited to have you here. So let's is how resilient we can be, okay? Welcome to the 234th episode of Friday Night Hangout. We're having some technical glitches, but not to worry. We are here and we're going to have an exciting conversation. So please join me as I welcome Ayom Ejiga, our special guest tonight, who is going to be talking to us on, building a support network, the power of a community. Welcome, my dear sister Ejiga. Welcome. Nice to have you here with us tonight.
Thank you so much. Good evening to everyone, and thank you for
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. Can you not hear me? Can you people not hear me?
I know. Okay, great. Great. Now we are hearing there's some delays. Yeah, there's some delays, but I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. And I had introduced you before the network glitch happened. I do hope you, all of you, got to see it. If not, please look at the comment section. We've put in her amazing resume there. And trust me, she's one person you want to get your note-taking material as we have this conversation. Like I said, she's a trained Maxwell leadership coach consultant. She's also a trainer and inspirational speaker, and she has published 3 books. So you don't want to miss any of the conversations tonight. So let's go right in. Do you have an opening word for them before we go into some of the questions, that will set the tone for the conversation?
What opening word do I have now? Just encourage people to just stay put, because I believe they are going to have something to take home and work with today. So make sure you keen it, yeah, and give us a full attention.
Thank you so much. Okay, we are discussing tonight, building a support network and the power of community. I know one of the things that attracted me to you when we met in Doha. So for those who do not know, this is not the first time she's been here explaining the first edition, but let me just quickly recap. We met last year in Doha at the NHN, event in Doha, Qatar, and we got attracted to ourselves and we just formed, a bond. And one of the things that drew us was we had similar experiences with nurturing special kids, and it seemed as if that bettered the purpose in us and took us into another direction. So we could relate. Her story, resonated with me. And just leveraging that, I want to ask you, so how did that help you in building a support community? How did you go about it? How has it worked for you in your personal life and in your professional life?
Yeah, okay. Are you talking about my experience, how my experience have helped me in building a support community? Or just
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I realized that, not that I just realized, I realized that we can't function to our optimum capacity alone. That's why we need a support community. That is why we have families. That is why we have churches. We have various kinds of community. And for me, I particularly appreciated the role of community much more than before, when I had my experience of having my daughter, raising her. Because, okay, even the family community, for instance, when she was born, of course, I had to give up everything to take care of her at that initial time. And when she was a bit older and she started going to school, because like I'm joining from the UK, she was born in Ireland, and in this part of the world, the government provides support. So it's like when it was time for her age, they always provide this kind of support that they provide a bus to come and pick her from home, take her to school. And at that point, I also started working. And because I couldn't do this alone, even my children, we all joined together to raise her, so that they too joined in taking care of her, to the extent that even her immediate elder sister could take care of her. So there was a way we did a schedule. It was more of doing it out of love. They actually wanted to help. So somebody may feed her breakfast, somebody may feed her lunch. When it's time for her to come back from school, normally I will not be back from work then. So the elder one will be at home to collect her. So that is still the power of community, because if I didn't have that support, I wouldn't have been able to do the things I was doing at that time. And then eventually when she also passed, the power of community also came into play, because she died in 2019. And then I experienced the power of like personal resilience, because resilience is about you being able to bounce back after you've experienced a setback. So when she died, and being a member of a church which I was committed to, the way my church members stood by me, the way they supported me, the way they were there for me, they made sure that we're not alone. They made sure that they kept coming to visit us when the incident happened initially. They kept bringing food, because when you have bereavement or you go through certain kinds of adversity, you're usually not even able to cook or even take care of yourself. But they made sure they were there to always support us, ensure that we eat, ensure that we have all the basic things we need in the house, ensure that we're not alone. And that love and support that they gave to me also helped me to be able to recover quicker from the grief. Because I know that if I was alone, I wouldn't have been able to recover that way. But having that supportive community, my church community, my family being around me, it helped me to be able to navigate the challenges of life. And I've also been able to bounce back. So that is the power of community when it comes to personal resilience for me. And also when it comes to professional resilience, I've also experienced the power of community. And actually, even your family support, your family community, your church community, the role they play still also overlap into your professional resilience. Because like having my daughter again, the reason why I could go back to work when she was maybe like 4 years, when she started going to school, was because I had that support. So that family support also helped me to still be able to bounce back and go back to work, because I know that even if I'm not there to collect her when she comes back from school, I have family members that could help. So that was still the power of community helping me in my professional resilience. And then when Professor Joy introduced me, she said I'm a member of the Maxwell Leadership Team. And that is one community that has greatly helped me as well, because being part of that kind of community is a personal development community, it's a leadership development community, it's a community that we've formed as a family. We support one another. We are a group of people that we do similar jobs. But one thing that we always tell ourselves in Maxwell Leadership is that we are not competitors, we are collaborators, which is actually what I'm doing with my sister, Professor Joy. Because even though we have similar passion, we have similar ministry, we do similar work in coaching, in training and all that, but because we understand the power of community, we don't compete against each other. And that is what we need to understand when we're talking about community. Because when you understand the power of community, you know that I join a community to support other people and for them to also support me. So we are there to collaborate. So in terms of professional resilience, Maxwell Leadership helped me to bounce back. I even remember like when I lost my daughter in 2019, my daughter passed in August 2019. And then in November that same year, my mother also passed. And at that point, if I was like losing my mind, because I was just trying to like gradually recover from the passing of my daughter when my mother died. And that day when I heard the news of my mother's passing, I was just walking like a living dead. I couldn't even process anything. And I put a message in the group, the Maxwell Leadership big group that I belong to. And I said, please pray for me. This is what I'm going through. And I started receiving encouragement. People were telling me, call me at any time. They were also sharing their own experiences. And you won't believe that by the following day, I felt strong. By the following day, I could now process what was going on. And I knew that they prayed for me, because if they didn't pray for me, I wouldn't have been able to come to where I was. That is still the power of community. This was a professional group, but we know that our personal life overlaps with our professional life as well. So then supporting me in that time of hardship helped me to be able to bounce back. And staying in that kind of community, there's a slogan that we always use in Maxwell leadership. They tell you, stay close to the fire. That is the community. Because when you are close to the fire, when you say you belong to a community, make sure that you are really plugged in. Because it is when you stay close to that fire that you see yourself benefiting from that community. I see myself being inspired as I'm doing my job as an entrepreneur. Sometimes you get discouraged. But when you stay close to the fire, when you plug into the community, you come there, they share their own experience, it encourages you. And then you just realize that you just keep moving. And then talking about the power of community again, when it comes to professional life, there's a quote that says, people don't quit jobs, they quit people. So each time you are in a community that you realize that you are really plugged in, they are supportive, they encourage you, they inspire you, you find that you don't want to leave that kind of community. If it's a job, you don't want to leave, even if the pay is not much. But because of the community around you, you see that people stay longer in a job where they've bonded with their team members, where they have a manager that is understanding. And of course, I also experienced that in other jobs that I have done. There's a particular lady that was my manager. She was not even married, but she was very understanding when she knew that I had a child with special needs. She made me have like flexibility. And because of her, I stayed in that organization longer than I would have stayed. And of course, there are other places that you go to and you find that if you don't find a supportive community, you don't also want to stay long there. So I think I will just stop there in terms of having the role that resilience play, or the role that community play in personal and professional resilience. Right, so I hand over to you now, Professor.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ayom. Stay close to the fire. You want to get plugged in, you want to stay warm, so stay close to the fire. Now, what are some barriers we have as women that would make us not to ask for help? Like you mentioned, when you lost your daughter, lost your mom, you were able to say, please pray for me. This is what I'm going through. Now, some of us feel hesitant to talk about what we're going to reach out, identify where we fit in, and work on ways of overcoming some of these stereotypes or barriers.
Yeah, I think some of the barriers that we face, one major barrier that we face is pride. Sometimes people feel that if I ask for help, they will say, "Oh, she does." So are you this ignorant? Are you this dumb? Because of that, they keep quiet. Or are you this weak? So pride is one major thing that stops community from blossoming, and that stops us from getting the help that we can from community. So pride is a major one. And then another major barrier again that stops women from seeking help or connection within community is fear. Many times you are afraid, like when you are reaching out, will I be accepted? Will they reject me? What if they begin to talk behind me? What if they use my story? What I'm trying to the area I'm being vulnerable with them and sharing with them that I need help. What if they begin to gossip about me? So because of so many what ifs, the fear that we have, we are also afraid to maximize the benefit that we can get from community. So a fear of the unknown. So sometimes you are joining a community and you are not sure. I don't know, with their values align with mine. What if I join? I hope I won't regret. Especially when, like as women and generally as human beings, there are certain experiences that we have had that have not been very nice, maybe within certain communities that we've been part of in the past. So the fear that I don't want this to repeat itself again can also hinder you from plugging and enjoying the benefits of community. But on the other hand, knowing these barriers, one of the ways that we can mitigate against these barriers is, before you join a community, find out what they stand for. What is the why of that community? Why does that community exist? What are their values? What are their goals? So when you know why it exists, you can now begin to align your own values. Of course, you must know your own value as well. So if you know what your values are, for me, I know that my value is growth is a big value for me. Integrity is a big value for me. So, like, compassion is a big value for me. So when I find that a community that I want to join also embraces this value, then I know that, okay, then it's a good match for me. So know what that community stands for. And then, of course, when you know this now, you'll be able to now plug into the community. So I hope that answers the question.
Honestly, in this day of social media technology, with virtual platforms, it's so easy to plug into so many communities, right? And the
Yeah.
challenge is we don't even know if these communities fit our values. We're just finding ourselves everywhere. We get overwhelmed. So this
Yeah.
is very key. A community where you cannot express yourself, a community where you do not feel safe, a community whose values do not align with yours. That's not a place for you to be. And it's not wrong. The truth is, you can't be in every space and feel comfortable. So find your tribe. But one key thing about finding your tribe so that you can thrive is you knowing yourself. And that
Yeah.
brings us to being authentic and knowing our kind of personality. Maybe you want to talk about this a little bit, and then also talk about the workshop that is coming up very soon, where we could have personality assessment and all of that. So I think this would be a good time to talk about being authentic personalities and all of that.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Yes, of course. Okay, I'm hearing the re-echo. I hope you guys can hear me anyway. Yeah, so when we talk about, I talk about you before you join the community, you know their values. But how do you know whether their value align with yours if you don't even know your own values? And in knowing your values, you really need to take time to know yourself. This is an exercise that you need time to sit down and reflect. Of course, everybody has values, but sometimes we are unaware of these values. There are certain things and that is why you get angry when people treat you in certain ways, because they are violating something that is about you. But when you are unaware of these things, you might just be walking blindly and, just like you said, jumping into every community that you see. So yes, we're talking about you joining communities, but you also need to be selective of which community is going to build me up. Because if you are joining community, it's because you want to be built up. The Bible talks about, like, I think let me look at that scripture. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 and 10. It says, 2 are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. It says, if either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity the one who falls alone and has no one to help him up. So this to tell us that we join community because we want somebody to hold our hand. We want somebody to help us. And we're also there to help other people, to hold other people's hand as well. So you must know that community is a give and take. It's not just, if you go to a community just to take, you will find yourself getting frustrated, because people will also get tired of you taking and not giving anything in return. So know that I'm going with the intention of giving, and then hopefully I will also get something back. So when you don't know yourself, then you become vulnerable to a lot of things as well. People can take advantage of you. People can violate you. But when you know yourself, you know what your values are. You know what your strengths are. You know what you are bringing to the table in the community. Then you can join with confidence. The reason why, for instance, when I heard about the Doha event last year, when I was going, I didn't even know anybody. And when I left, people didn't believe that I didn't know anybody when I came, because almost everybody that was in that conference got to know me, because I knew what I stood for. I went because the theme of the conference resonates with my personal mission. And when I went there, I also know that even though I'm going to learn, I also have something I can offer. And this is because I've taken time to develop myself. I'm still on the development journey, because it's a lifelong journey. I've taken time to develop myself. I've taken time to do some personal assessment that makes me to know myself. So even if I'm joining any community, I know that I'm not a parasite. Yes, I might get something from them, but I also add something to them. And that is why, like, Professor Joy and myself, we're having a year-end workshop. We call it a strategy workshop, where we are going to take time to understand ourselves. The workshop is in three parts. The first part is reflection. You're going to take time to reflect on your journey. How has community been helpful to me in this year? Which community has benefited me the most? So you're going to evaluate yourself in terms of your own personal journey, in terms of working with people, in terms of just personal reflection in various areas, how this year has been. And then after you do the personal reflection, we're also going to help you take some personal assessment where you'll be able to understand yourself better. Because one thing I've come to realize with personal assessment, that when you take it, it's like you say, okay, this is why I do what I do. This is why when somebody talks to me this way, I'm not happy about it because they are violating one of my values. This is why I am like this. This is why other people are different from me. So they're also going to be like personal assessment that you will take. And then we also have as a bonus the Maxwell Leadership this assessment. That one will give you a 30 or 30 page report about yourself. In fact, a lot of people when they do that assessment and they get the report, they say it's like, has somebody been stalking me? Because it will tell you a lot of things about yourself, your strengths, your leadership qualities, areas that you can still grow, areas that you can harness on knowing that this is an area that I'm strong in. And then doing all these things help you to understand yourself, that when I'm joining a community, I know what I'm bringing to the table. You know, I was saying one of the things that stop women from joining communities is fear. But when you know yourself, you'll be able to overcome that fear, because you know that, yes, I know why I am joining this community. And I know that in as much as I expect to get something out, there's also something I'm bringing to the table. And then the top part of this workshop we are having is strategic planning into 2026. Because I believe that each year should be better. You should be a better version of yourself tomorrow than you are today. There's a quote that says, if you will not be better today than you were yesterday, or if you not be better tomorrow than you are today, what do you need tomorrow for? You don't need tomorrow if you're not going to be better tomorrow. So if you don't need 2026 if you are not going to be a better version of yourself. So the third part of the workshop is to help you strategically plan, so that as I move into 2026, how can I maximize the value of collaboration? Because that is one thing about community. You can collaborate with other people, just like Professor Joy and myself are collaborating now in different ways. How can I grow myself? In what ways? Having known my strengths, having known how I performed this year, how can I take it to another level? So that is what the workshop is about. And the good thing is that you can join in person. It's going to be taking place in the United Kingdom, in Reading, at the Hilton Hotel. But we're also making provision for people to join us virtually. So if you cannot be here in person, you can also join us virtually, and you will get the maximum benefit from it. Thank you. I can hear you.
Hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Okay. Like Coach Ayam said, if you can't join us in person in UK, please make sure you reserve your seat and join us virtually. This is one workshop you don't want to miss. I love the bit about the reflection and repositioning. It's just super. This is what you need to end the year very strong, and then even start 2026 stronger. So you don't want to miss the reflect, refine, and reposition for 2026 process. This is it. It gives you clarity on how to move forward. You would even know, some of us, after attending this workshop, there are some communities you will exit, because you will find out that their values do not align with yours. They are just wasting your time. And then there are some communities you will strategically position yourself to be a part of. And for some of us, we might even start our own community. Who says you cannot build your own table, right? So what we want you to do is, at the end of the day, for you to know yourself, for you to be authentic, understand the values that are important to you, and really understand that no man is an island. You need a community to work with and to support you. And so, Coach Ayam, what will be your final words for us tonight?
My final word is, we should strive to find our own tribe. Because we can't, okay, like there's a quote that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with people. So if you want to go far in life, begin to find your community and plug into it. You don't, even if it's one or two communities you belong to, that you know that aligns with your value, is stretching you, is inspiring you, is bringing out the best in you, then just plug into that community. Don't join too many, because if you join too many, you will not be able to commit to it. So find your tribe and make sure that you plug into it. All right. It looks like we've lost Professor Joy now.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yes,
Can
I
you
can
hear
hear you.
me?
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Coach Young, for making out time to share from your wealth of knowledge. It's always a privilege. It's always an honor to have you join us at the Friday Night Hangout. And we can be sure we're going to have you back again, because each time you come fresh. And so we don't take it for granted at all. Thank you so much. And listen, like we said, find your tribe, plug in, stay warm. Now, you don't want to miss next week's episode. We're going to be looking at mindfulness and well-being. In finding your community, in building a support system, how do you want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself and that you're mindful of your actions, your thoughts, and all of that? This is a conversation we're going to be having next week. And talking about community as well, do you know we have a Telegram community? Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult on Telegram page. Please do not forget to join us. And you can also join us on YouTube. We have the Friday Night Hangout on YouTube. So thank you so much for joining us in. And please do share, tell your friends, tell your loved ones about this conversation. This is a very important conversation that we need to publicize. Until we come your way next week, Friday, stay blessed, stay near the fire, find your tribe, and thrive. From myself and the team in the studio is bye for now. We love and honor you, and we look forward to seeing you next week, Friday. Bye for now. This is a call to accomplished women executives, leaders, and influencers. Are you feeling stuck, uncertain, or unfulfilled in your personal or professional life? Do you yearn for clarity, purpose, and a sense of direction? If yes, then join us for the Rediscover Tribe Retreats 2026 in Zanzibar from January 26th to 30th, and embark on a transformating journey to reignite your passion, purpose, and spark. Reclaim your clarity, reignite your spark, and thrive in your new season. This exclusive retreat is designed to help you let go of the doubts and fears that hold you back and discover a clear path forward. It helps you to discover your evolving purpose and passion, explore your values, strengths, and passions, and align them with your personal and professional goals. Connect with like-minded women who inspire and will hold you accountable and also uplift you. Build meaningful relationships with fellow women leaders who understand your challenges and aspirations. Our retreat offers a safe, supportive, and inspiring environment where you can reflect on your experiences and gain new insights. Develop strategies to overcome obstacles and achieve your goals. It also helps you to connect with women, who share your values and aspirations. What to expect at the Retreat 2026? Thought-provoking workshops and discussions, guided meditations and reflective exercises, meaningful connections with like-minded women, opportunities for personal growth and development, and time to catch your breath, to rest. We understand how much rest means to busy professionals. We have limited slots. Do not miss this opportunity to transform your life and leadership. Register now. Get ready to spark your greatness. Join us in Zanzibar, January 26th to 30th, and reignite your spark.